It looks like the Warriors got a Christmas gift this year, the return to form for one of the Splash Brothers. Klay Thompson's efficiency and percentages have been surging since Christmas Day. He explains why and more in this interview with 3D.
Klay Thompson is one of the greatest shooters this game has ever seen.
Nobody in the history of the game can heat up like this guy can.
Here's Thompson for three. Oh, he is on fire. Thompson again. Klay Thompson is 10 for 10 from three-point range. An incredible performance.
I want to go back to early in the season. There was so-called some slump you were supposedly in. Shooters shoot. What's so much different now?
I think we're at full strength. I think my game kind of is intertwined with how the team's doing as far as ball movement, flow, pace, all those things. Because when we're playing with great pace and flow, I don't really have to take contested shots. I think my shot quality goes up greatly. And that's what happens when you play with great players. My game just meshes well when we're moving the ball well and we're playing at a high level.
Do you guys get enough credit for being so talented and so unselfish?
I think people have just gotten used to it. I think our style that we have played these last, 5-6 years have got people accustomed to seeing us hit the backdoor cutter, make the extra pass, hit the open man. We might not get enough credit for it, but I know people love to watch it. It's more fun to be a part of, and people are just used to it at this point. They just are used to the Warriors, having a 35 assist night with 10 turnovers and, blowing out the competition, but it's harder than it looks.
Speak about turnovers. Is that one thing now that pretty much half the season is gone, you guys are starting to tighten up a little bit, just taking better care of the ball?
We do this every year. We always start out the year playing a little sloppy, and then Steve always yells at us, brings us back into practice, has us doing passing drills, jump stop, pivot, chest pass. But he always reiterates, the simple leads is spectacular. And he always tells us when we just make that simple play, 4 or 5 possessions from then, we're going to hit a home run. That's when beautiful plays happen, whether it's an alley-oop to KD, Steph 35-foot pull-up in transition, Draymond throwing a couple oops, Andre catching them. That's when those happen.
The boogeyman, Mr. DeMarcus Cousins, is back from an Achilles injury.
Here's Durant with it around the screen by Cousins. Big roll, goes slam. Welcome back, DeMarcus Cousins.
Seen him in practice for his rehab to get to where he is now, and now he's on the floor. What's so different?
When he was in Sacramento, he kind of had to take the team on his shoulders for them to just be above 500. No offense, but I don't think he's played with this much talent unless it was Team USA. So the floor is open for him, and he is so unselfish as far as setting screens, making the extra pass. He's just really smart too. If I'm coming off him for DHL, he's going to position himself so the defender has to go around him. Using his big body, coming off screens, him being able to stretch the floor, knock down threes is such an underrated factor for us. And just being a great basketball player, you can plug him anywhere and he will make the right play.
Well, Klay has some of the most red-hot records we've ever seen. Most points in a quarter, most threes in a game, tied for most threes made in a row, 10 in a game, and the 60 points on those 11 dribbles. Real quick, Rip, which one of these impresses you most?
Well, the 10 straight threes. I think for me as a player, it's hard to make 10 threes, but to make your first 10 threes, I think that's very impressive to myself.
GA, when you look at Boogie coming in and adding another weapon to this offense, and the fact that 86% of their baskets when he's on the floor are assisted. Yeah. And then the Wizards were like, okay, we're going to crowd the three-point line and not give them that. And that didn't work. So why did that not work as an approach against the Warriors to crowd the three-point line?
Well, I do think that has to be a part of your game plan to have success against them. And to your point, it didn't work for the Wizards, or it didn't work really for the Celtics, but it gave them a chance. And it's going to be important. The problem, though, is you're talking about arguably the highest basketball IQ team that you're going to see collectively. And here, they just take advantage. You overplay, taking away the three. I'll just go in and give me a little quick layup. Again, the ball movement, the spacing, the movement without the ball. And what they do a great job of is every aspect of their offense is the option. And they all make the right reads on these plays, And again, understanding weak side there, you're not going to leave Klay and you're not going to leave Steph. So that just creates an easy opportunity for that pick and roll action with Durant and also Boogie Cousins. So they're just, I think that's the thing that people didn't talk enough about when you look at Cousins coming over and also Durant. Those guys just weren't great players. They were high IQ guys. Like, they also have an ability to play without the basketball. They can make all the plays out on the floor. And Boogie doesn't have to Klay's point, he doesn't have to get 25 and 13. If he's getting 17 and 7 for them, you know, that's the equivalent of him getting 25 and 13 on another team because of all the talent they play with. And he becomes another guy that you have to account for defensively. And when you look at the spacing they create, man, they become almost unguardable at times when they're clicking.
Rip, when you look at the Warriors and their adjustments offensively, that's easy to see. But defensively against Boston, they also made some adjustments in that game.
Oh, yeah, people forget how great of a defensive team this team is. I mean, when you look at the numbers, they slipped a little bit from the previous 2 years. But this is a team that really kind of gets at it. And it starts with Klay Thompson and his ball pressure. I think he's one of the best two-way players that we got in the game. And him guarding Kyrie Irving right here. But look at the weak side. You got two guys in the paint. You got Steph Curry and Draymond Green helping and is willing to give up the shot for Al Horford. Again, you see three guys, all of them, they got their eyes on Kyrie Irving because they know that he's a big part of this team. Now you got a guy like Boogie Cousins that can pretty much be a rim protector for this team, which they've been lacking all season long. Again, put Kyrie in pick and roll, the big stays out, Looney stays there until Livingston can get back. Boogie now has to guard too. Now he does a great job of getting in front of Al Horford, and now when they do that, now they're in transition, and this is where they make teams pay. If this team's allowed to get in transition and get easy baskets, especially like that, they're just too good of a team. They share the ball, they average, close to 30 assists a game. This is a team that's tough to beat, not just because their offensive game, but their defense has also been great too.
Certainly a dynamic ball club. We all know about the Splash Brothers, but now they have the Splash Cousins. I mean, he's shooting 57% from three-point range since coming over. But how has he unlocked this offense in different ways?
Well, the big thing for him is the shot quality. Okay, when you're the focal point of the offense, oftentimes you're going to take a lot of 9-1-1s. You're going to have to create all your own offense. And you see here, offense gets creative for him. I mean, these are not hard shots. And so when you give a great player these kind of looks, he's going to shoot a tremendously high percentage. And I think from his standpoint, it's probably the easiest the game has ever been, other than when he plays on Team USA, because he's basically playing on Team USA right now when you look at the makeup of this Warriors squad.